So, hi, you awesome people out there. Welcome back to my channel. And what? Yes, I told you in my previous video, another story. But this story is not, yes, of course, I am a very crucial part of this story. But this is about one of the passenger. An incident took place on my flight. A passenger falling unconscious and how we dealt with it, because that was my first experience, first hand experience with somebody falling unconscious in front of me, how we dealt, and I was basically heading the flight. So that is more important to know. Okay, so let's get into it right away. All right, so what happened exactly? Long time back, actually, I'm feeling a little nostalgic, when I'm talking about it, because I really do not remember everybody on my flight, but I do remember this guy because he became very good, Ajay. I'm taking a lot of names here. I hope you guys are watching my videos. All right, you people out there, I hope you are watching my videos and thinking about those days, Anthony and then now Ajay. So me and Ajay, of course, were there. He was, of course, I think he was working in economy, and we had finished the service. It was Bombay, it was Bangkok Bombay flight. We were coming back in the night. The departure was somewhere around in the evening, and of course we used to serve dinner on the flight, and by around 9:30, 10 o'clock we used to land in Bombay. So we were on the flight, not even halfway, almost like 1/3 of the way we would have covered. In the premier class, we had finished the services, and Ajay had come in the forward in the premier class, and we were chit-chatting because we had finished the services and we had put the lights off. Also, what was another problem on the flight that day was the air conditioning. Some of the passengers, I don't know, it was some sort of technical glitch that day on the aircraft, that half of the aircraft was warm and half of the aircraft was the passengers were feeling very cold. Now, in that condition, we kept informing the captain because passengers were constantly sitting on our heads, and they were asking for the people who were sitting in the hot part of the aircraft were asking to reduce the temperature, and people who were sitting in the colder section of the aircraft were asking for the captain to increase the temperature. Now, what to do? We can only inform the captain. In that case, we were not able to do anything, and Ajay and me were talking about the same thing in the forward, that I don't know what to do with this situation, and we decided that when we land into Bombay, we will definitely inform the maintenance staff about it. And passengers, we were taking rounds of juices in the cabin to make sure that everybody is calm and quiet. But still, of course, there were some elements, there were few passengers who were really making an issue out of it. But what to do, it was a long flight. We could only pacify them by making sure that we are constantly taking rounds and we are informing them that we have informed the captain, because nothing is in cabin crew hands, when it comes to the maintenance of the aircraft, or when it comes to the air conditioning part of the aircraft. Nothing is in our hands, we can only inform the captain, and that's what we were doing. And from our side, whatever possible that we could do to make sure that providing juices and providing water constantly to the people who are in the warmer section of the aircraft, and making sure that providing tea, coffee to the passengers who are sitting in the colder section of the aircraft. And but still nothing could basically kind of satisfy them. And I can understand, when you spend so much of money, you definitely deserve a cozy and a comfortable flight, and that too when it is a long flight, close to 4.5-5 hours flight. Okay, so that was one issue that was happening on the flight. Now, another thing what happened in the premier class, we served everybody, we finished the services, and we were sitting on the jump seat. Me and Ajay, we were sitting on the jump seat. We had to reduce the lights, and we were talking about all the issues that was happening on the aircraft, and some other things, of course. And then suddenly one of the passenger from the premier class, he came towards the galley, and he went inside the washroom. He went inside, and for us, of course, a passenger using the washroom, going into the washroom in front of us, is a healthy one who's walking himself. Okay, now suddenly when we were talking, within like 2 minutes, I actually felt that the passenger inside the washroom he fell onto the door of the washroom, because I could see that the door, first of course I heard a bang. Another thing that I saw was that the door of the washroom had come out a little. And I'm constantly telling Ajay, something has happened to this passenger. And he's telling me, no, nothing happened. Yeah, you just, something is cooking up in your head because you're going completely bonkers with these other passengers. Maybe you're just overthinking. I'm like, I am not overthinking. You must see, look at the door of the washroom. And I told him this, and then for two minutes, of course, he was not ready to listen to me. And I also realized one thing, that if I try to open the door right now, because the passenger was close to 6'2" was his height, and he was heavy also. Now I realized that if I'll open the door, he's going to fall straight into the galley. And Ajay himself was close to 6'3", 6'4". So, and he was very tall. So I was like, Ajay, you have to come here, you have to open the door, and you have to make sure that even if he falls, you just hold on to him. So Ajay then realized, because when he saw that door, one side of the door had come out, then he realized that probably something happened, and we were constantly knocking on the door and we were asking, sir, are you all right? Are you all right? And he was not responding. Now that was another sign, okay? So this is how, of course, you have to check for the passengers. And then Ajay, what he did, he very slowly, rotated the knob of the lavatory door, and he very slowly opened the door, and the passenger actually fell onto him. And that's when I realized that, Ajay, probably, we took a little more time. I hope he's perfectly all right. Nothing has happened to him. I hope he's not dead. The first thing that comes to your head is this only, you're constantly thinking that मरना नहीं चाहिए आपके सामने कोई. Unconscious, if a passenger is unconscious, of course, you can still take care of him. If somebody is not feeling well, you can still take care of him. But if somebody, dies in front of you, there is nothing that you can do about it, and that is another scar that is left, in your memory for the rest of your life. And that's what happened. We brought the passenger out, and we splashed some water on his face, and we made him lie down in the galley, like flat on his back. And slowly he came back to consciousness, but he was not conscious, but he was like subconscious, like something between conscious and unconscious. He could reply very slowly, he could talk very slowly, and in the meantime, what we did is that we gave him orange juice, because that is the first thing that we rule out. Most of the time people fall unconscious. Why? Because of lack of sugar in your body. So what we used to do, we either used to give juice, or we used to put a sachet of sugar in the mouth of the passenger. So बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है कि people used to come back to consciousness. But in this case, nothing was helping. And then he was not traveling alone. He was traveling with few of his friends, because they had gone to Bangkok, and of course, Bangkok. So they were coming back. So what I did, I went to them and I said that, sir, a friend of yours who was sitting here has fallen unconscious. Could you please tell me if there's something? We need to find out the history. What happened? Why it happened? So when we found out the history of the passenger, we got to know that he's having high blood pressure. He had a bad stomach. Plus he was not supposed to eat prawns. I still remember that. He was not supposed to eat prawns. And he ate prawns on that day, on that particular flight, wherein of course his friends were also stopping him. When you already have an upset stomach, why do you want to take chance with seafood? You should never ever take chance with seafood when you have an upset stomach. You should always try to eat something light. But the passenger, because जिभा का क्या कर सकते हैं हम लोग, okay? So he did not bother about that. He had high blood pressure. So what we did immediately, and we had a huge procedure. So I think there was nothing that we could give to the passenger from the first aid kit. Now physicians, there are two medical kits on the flight. One is first aid kit, one is physician's kit. First aid kit is for the usage of the crew, which we can open in any case of medical emergency on the flight. But physician's kit can only be opened by a medical practitioner, a certified medical practitioner. So what we do is basically we start paging for doctors on the aircraft. If there is a doctor on the aircraft, we ask them to identify themselves to the crew. Now what happened? To our bad luck on that particular flight, there was no doctor on the flight. no doctor at all. So we could not open the physician's kit. Now physician's kit has blood pressure checking machine, which was very important for us that day. We needed to check his blood pressure, and that was the only thing which was not available for us. And or blood pressure high hota hai, what else you can do? What else? Because all the things that can be given to a passenger related to blood pressure are all kept in. Disprin is also kept in that physician's kit, which can only be opened by a certified medical practitioner. So we could not do anything for that passenger. What we decided, that we will take him to the economy class, make him lie down on a seat. Now in the premier class it becomes very difficult for passenger to lie down, because there are only 2 seats together, and there is a permanent armrest in between, so you cannot lie down straight. You will always lie down like this. But in economy class, of course, 3 seats together, you can put the armrests up and you can make a person lie down on the seat. So what we did is, we and his friends, of course, and Ajay, we all took him. We were keeping the captain informed. We were constantly informing him about the condition, and captain was also asking us, what is his condition? Do you think we should land to some close by airport looking at his condition? And we were, I think, still 2 hours to Bombay. And so in doing so, when I'm sharing this story, of course I'm trying to make it very short, but whatever we did to make sure to make that passenger comfortable, it took us almost like 1.5 hours to finally take him to that economy class and make him lie down on those 3 seats together. Now it was a full flight, so we had to, of course, bring those economy passengers to the premier class, and we had to make them sit there. So of course it was good for the premier class passengers because they got to sit in the premier class. Okay, at the same point, now here the passenger is lying, and the other passengers on the opposite side of him, they could see what we were dealing with. But instead of really understanding that part, they started yelling at us. They saw me and Ajay standing there. They started yelling at us. Why? Because of the air conditioning system of the aircraft, the failure of the air conditioning system of the aircraft. They were yelling, they were talking about the difference that they were feeling in the temperature of the aircraft, and they wanted, some sort of, what do you call it, कुछ मतलब उनको चाहिए था कुछ तो, कि एयरलाइंस हमको पैसा दे इस चीज़ के लिए कि हमारी इतनी अनकंफर्टेबल फ्लाइट रही. And what else we could do at that point of time? Me and Ajay had to ignore them because this passenger was our priority. At the end of the day, they were perfectly fine, and it was almost like an hour now into landing. Somehow, so what happens, you have to multitask, you have to constantly polish your brain, you have to listen to this side, you have to listen to this side, and there is constant tug of war that is going on in your head, and you have to make sure that the both parties are at the winning end. Nobody is losing, nobody is winning. So both the parties have to be in the win-win situation. So what I did is, I went myself to the captain, do something about it, because we're dealing with this unconscious passenger, and at the same time these passengers are yelling. So captain said, I have no other option but to make sure that I keep, reducing the temperature or increasing the temperature, because they're constant, and even captain got a little irritated. So of course, it is, at the end of the day, it is captain's job to make sure that he takes care of all these things. So eventually, of course, we landed, and these passengers, while landing, they were abusing us, and they were saying things that, of course, I can't even share with you. Horrible flight we had today, and that, and this, and all that. And this passenger, of course, we had to call for the company doctor on landing, and company doctor came, checked him, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital because his blood pressure was really, really high. He was in a semi-conscious state. He was not fully conscious, and that's how he was taken to the hospital. And while after landing, we took a sigh of relief, and we told ourselves, what a day, 5 hours of this adversity, these 5 hours of so much of adrenaline rush. But at the end of the day, what happens, you go home, you saved someone's life, and that's what is more important. Those passengers, of course, were not important for me at that point of time because they were all healthy. My priority was this person. My priority was to make sure that he lives. Okay, so that's what we did, and later I think we were informed also by the company doctor that the passenger is fine and he's gone home. His blood pressure came down and he's taking care of himself. So that was the relieving statements that we got on that particular for that particular flight. And that's how, you know, we face so many things. And of course I will come up with many more incidents like this. Something happened on a Singapore flight, so I will share with you after 3 or 4 informative videos. We'll get back to the stories. Okay, so that's about it for today, guys. So these are situations that we face on the aircraft, and nobody prepares us for these situations. We are just told how to treat the passenger. We are not trained to deal with these kind of situations perfectly. It's something that we have to keep on polishing and learning on everyday flights, and the experiences that we have on every flight every day. So you know, why am I sharing all these videos with you? Because I want you all to understand that tomorrow when you become a cabin crew, these are the things that you will face on the flights, and this is how you have to deal with these kind of situations. You can't lose your calm, you can't yell back at the passengers. You have to be calm. When you are calm, then the entire environment around you will be calm, and especially when you know that you are handling the entire aircraft. The safety of the entire aircraft is in your hands, okay, as a supervisor or a manager. Okay, so today's story ends with this, and I will definitely come up with more stories. So for today, I'm signing out. Please like, share and subscribe to my videos, and share it with as many people as you can. And please subscribe to my channel. Okay, all right, so with that, bye bye, see ya.